Welcome back to our attendees. Our next speaker, Mr. Ahmed Gaber, General Manager, North Africa for Visa. And speaking on today's topic is the role of fintechs in the evolving payment ecosystem. Over to you, Mr. Ahmed.
Thank you very much, Melvin. Hi, colleagues, friends, partners, and clients. I hope you are all doing great. My name is Ahmed Gaber. I'm heading Visa Business in North Africa region. Thank you for your time in advance, and thanks to White Paper Summit team for this great opportunity. The session today will be focused on three pillars. Pillar number one is macro view on fintechs and pre and post-pandemic period. And then the second pillar will be about sharing Visa FinTech Fast Track program and Visa Connect program, which I hope that many of you will learn much about it. And the last one will be leaving you with some trends that we see going forward in the future of the digital payments. I'm sorry for putting my camera off. In fact, I wanted to make sure that my slides will reach you and then we can meet in person or you can see my picture already here. So my next slide will be pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. What a year. The year was really strange and difficult and different for many of us. So what are the themes which we have seen during the pandemic, and what are the themes which we are seeing post-pandemic, if we can consider that we are post-pandemic? So there was uncertain time where people did not know if global markets will perform the same, and in fact, global markets fell during the pandemic. So did the funding for the fintechs at that time. The question at that time was, will fintechs survive the storm? And at a point of time, it didn't look great. Some companies and some big names like Monzo valuation fell by 40%, but credit to their ecosystem, they were resilient and they were able to come back strong. Post-pandemic, new norms and new digital ecosystem. In fact, as you can see in the slide, a company like checkout.com, a company like stripe.com, these companies grew massively and they became actually the fintech of fintechs in the e-commerce business. Funding to the fintechs grew between Q1 20 and Q1 21 by 70%, which is a very positive sign to the economy and to the fintechs world. Africa has unicorns. Africa has a unicorn in Nigeria. Africa has a unicorn in Egypt. So, which means that Africa also is super promising when it comes to fintechs. E-com enablers, we will come to that point of checkout and Stripe in more details in the next slides. To conclude, the majority of fintechs were resilient and we are very happy to see this happening in the ecosystem. Now, okay, so where are the fintechs are playing as we speak now? The fintechs are playing as we speak now in the e-commerce area, nothing new here. However, there are some changes on how the fintechs are actually playing here. Like what we mentioned about Checkout and Stripe, they became enablers for other fintechs as well in order to get into the sellers and the buyer systems. Sellers are embarking new electronic payment, whether it's on web or mobile, form factors, or even sometimes QR code. Buy now and pay later programs becoming prevalent and disturbing cash on delivery. That's on the e-commerce. On the consumer preference of the contactless, according to Visa 21 Global Back to Business study, the study told us that 4 out of 5, or around 85%, expect contactless options when they are shopping in face-to-face environment. Whether it's contactless card, mobile payments, or QR code, or scanning, in fact, 4 out of 5 people as we speak now are expecting that they can pay contactless without dipping the card or swiping the card. And with Visa, we have seen continued growth in the contactless in many countries globally, and in some countries we can see that the contactless transactions represents more than 90% of the face-to-face transactions. Funds disbursement is very important. Some of you would think that funds disbursement is about P2P business, but now fintech plays enormous role in digitizing the money, especially in a time where getting money to home was very important, and it was very important to happen quickly. Funds disbursement is about P2P, is about B2B, is about B2C, is about G2C. So funds disbursement is an area where really fintechs are doing a great job. Small to medium businesses, the global rise of contactless payments is showing no signs of slowing. So again, contactless is increasing. But what is the connection between small to medium businesses and contactless? In fact, in June 2020, only 20% of small to medium businesses had offered contactless. Now, 39% report that they have started to accept new digital forms of payments. This is according to Visa 2021 Back to Business study. Fintechs offering pay-by-link solutions and tap-to-pay are bringing down the cost of acceptance, and that's quite important. And this is actually the link between small to medium businesses and contactless, because these kind of clients, they need better and more cost-effective solutions. Digital insurance wallets, digital issuance and wallets. In fact, 72% growth in use of financial apps and mobile banking services in the last 12 months, according to Ernst and Young study. According to Ernst and Young study, which is called How COVID-19 Has Sped Up the Digitization for the Banking Sector. So 72% growth. We are seeing similar trends in region with banks, fintechs, MNOs, creating digitally native products. And that's an important one, because many of the entities and digital issuers now are not actually focusing at all on physical products, and they are starting from digitally native products from the beginning. MNOs are a great example of that. MNOs rally to launch digital propositions across the region. STC, for example, in Saudi Arabia is one example of that. It is growing massively in the digital payments area, while it's a mobile operator. Governments plays a key role in our discussion today and in our presentation today. Governments are enablers. Governments should continuously improving fintech licensing and regulation programs. Fintechs are very sensitive to cash, and they want to make sure that they get the license quickly so that they can continue to cash flows, I mean, so that they can continue to pay salaries and they can continue to invest. So the delay in the licensing and in the approval has very different impact than the delay in the approval to a bank program or something like that. And of course, government is playing another role as a client. In fact, the government is converting their payments and how they are getting paid to be digital. It's very few governments now globally are still accepting cash or still paying government salaries cash. So there is a huge move into this area. Last but not least, governments also are enabling government and non-government acceptance, both of them. Governments are playing a very important role to widen the acceptance in the countries. We can see government like in Egypt here, the government invested much to widen the acceptance in the country and subsidized some programs for the bank. Now we cover the first pillar, and we will move to the second pillar about the fintechs, fast track program by Visa. So, as an organization, we have evolved over the years to a place where we are proud to be fintech partner of choice with over 130 partnership launched or in the pipeline only in Central Europe, Middle East, and Africa region. We are now in place where we can create value to the fintech ecosystem, but that ecosystem needs you, needs fintechs, needs banks, needs governments. Everyone needs to play a role into the fintech case. Collectively, we can capture value together and collaborate. In fact, Visa has expanded verticals of opportunities like BIN sponsorship, issuing processing, program management, and I will shed some light on BIN sponsorship and issuing processing in the issuing part of my presentation. That will take us to Visa Connect, or Visa Fintech Partner Connect program, which I think not many of you are aware of because that's a new program created in Visa a year ago, which is actually saving time, saving money, saving cost, saving manpower, saving much by enabling the fintechs and even enabling the banks for some solutions which instead of them investing in these programs, in fact, Visa is able to do that. So, for example, not many can have KYC platforms, not many can have KYB platforms regarding the infrastructure, for example, the connectivity regarding you can connect to actually, this is very interesting one which I'd like to shed some light on. So with this program, once you are part of it and you became Visa partner, in fact, your services are also offered to the other fintechs and to the other banks in the region. So by connecting to such a platform, you can easily discover what other services can you get not only from Visa but from the fintechs which you can select based on your business needs. So if you need more information about this, please visit our partner.visa.com website and you'll get all the details how you can be Visa partner in the fintech area and how you can accelerate your services to your clients. Now, I will move to a very important point in my opinion. Fintechs usually they don't have licenses from the banks, so from the central banks to issue cards themselves. So they need an enabler. So what I want to say here is very important fact. In the US, there are banks called US community banks, and in fact, US community banks in the states were in the bottom of the half of the top 1,000 banks a decade ago. All of these banks, community banks, were so small. Now they are sitting proud in the top 20 banks in the US. Why? Because they moved from being just an issuer to an enabler by working with the fintechs to enable them by providing them with BIN numbers like BIN sponsorship program and processing services and other programs. And these banks actually became on the top 20 banks in the States, while they were in the bottom 1,000 banks in the States. We are seeing this as we speak now. We are seeing banks who don't want to or don't have enough number of clients or cannot expand for a reason or another, that they are expanding by being enabler for fintechs, and that's very important point. Okay, so we spoke about pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, and we spoke about what Visa can offer and what are the current programs which are there. And we spoke about where are the areas which currently fintechs are playing in. But there are areas which fintechs are tends to watch out for now. And in fact, we are seeing a lot of fintech players moving out from what I had explained to you earlier, like e-commerce, contactless, issuer wallets, or digital wallets, moving to crypto. Crypto is quite important. A lot of hype around this topic at the moment. And at Visa, we are here to demystify the hype and provide executable solution, whether it's an API that allows financial institutions to buy, sell, custody digital currencies like Bitcoin, settling with Visa in a stable coin or other opportunities, any opportunities related to crypto. So that's something you need to watch the space for, and there are companies like Circle, Crypto, and Fold who are pioneering this as we speak. And then unbundling credit, it's a completely new line of business. These companies are rethinking the traditional credit card model. Upgrade, like for example, Upgrade is enabling credit building and repayment through installments. Step is providing a joint debit card product to young adults. Tabby are one of the leading buy now, pay later fintechs in the region, solving for cash and delivery and on delivery, for example. Payment enablers continue to grow and accelerate their footprint. Our second slide showed that Checkout and Stripe recently among us announced large rounds, meaning enablers are here to stay. The for fintechs, they are gaining scale across fragmented regions. Open loop wallets everywhere around the world where there are closed loop wallets. There can be a successful closed loop payment system, but can't easily subscribe to the wallets because you have to be part of this closed loop system. However, once you open up for the open loop, you can easily be part of any system, and their closed loop customers can travel anywhere and can use the same wallet. So there are many fintechs now are coming to open up the closed loop wallets to the world by Visa credentials and other credentials. Gaming solutions is very important and very nice new line of business. They're attracting next generation of consumers, the Generation Z and millennials, to stay relevant with the segment, to be relevant in gaming. So there are many companies like Faceit in Russia, Razer in Asia Pacific, are great example of a companion card solution where they issue companion card solution. Of course, at Visa, we have a dedicated team for fintechs and digital innovation and digital partnerships. I would love that after this presentation, if you'd like to connect with me or you connect with Ahmed Mohi, our country manager in Sudan, please feel free to connect and we will be more than happy to support you to get access to Visa Ready programs and to Visa Partners programs. I'd like to thank you very much and thank Melwin and thank the entire team who supported this presentation. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed, you're with me?
Melwin, I think you are muted.
Yeah, 1 second. You can hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay, so now that Visa has come into Sudan, so we see a lot of opportunities for the Sudanese people, I'm assuming, correct, sir?
Of course, that's 100%.
Anything exciting you're bringing up for Sudan specifically, like anything new which we can look forward to?
So the most exciting part, I can say that we are bringing the world to Sudan because we are connecting Sudan to the entire world through the partnerships which we have with the banks. But of course, in Sudan, given that there were some time that the ecosystem was not similar to the payment ecosystems which we can see in different places. So the first thing actually, which our biggest mission is to bring Sudan to the normal payment ecosystem, EMV standards, contactless standards, tokenization standards, so that the players like the Pay, Samsung Pay, and others can easily get into this. In addition to that, also we would like to grow the knowledge of the people in Sudan. So there are various training programs lined up between us and between EBS in Sudan, which is Electronic Banking Services of Sudan, and many banks in Sudan to train and educate and to bring the knowledge to the people who are working in the payment industry so that they can easily navigate and easily create whatever they want to create, but more importantly, to protect their systems and to make sure that once they open up for the global economy, they are protected from any fraud or any risk.
Correct. You have someone following you. His name is Mr. Umar Al-Ghali. His question to you is, your recent visit in Sudan and you met up with fintech firms. Can you please tell us more about it?
So my visit, so thank you, Omar, first for your question. And my visit to Sudan first, before I answer your question, was very remarkable. Look, I can say that easily I did more than 500, 1,000 business trips in the last few years. But really, this trip to Sudan is very remarkable. It's number one, the market is open, the market is ready, the market wants to do a lot of work. On the fintech itself, yes, I met a couple of fintechs, and I think some of them will be here hearing me. And I made it a point, in fact, Omar, that I didn't only meet the fintech, I went to their offices and I visited them personally to make sure that I see how is the vibe, how it is working, what they are working on. I wanted to meet the teams. I wanted to speak to them. I wanted to go to their places. So yes, I met fintechs, and without mentioning the names of the fintechs I met, so that the other fintechs will not be said from me. It was fantastic, and I enjoyed it big time, and I'm still in daily contact with them. In fact.
Okay. And did you enjoy some good food, sir?
Yeah, I just want to remember the food name, the bread with the meat. I think it's called. I can't recall the name, but there is a bread with the food with the meat. It was fantastic. It's like the crepe, you know. It's like the normal crepe, but it's coming as a very Sudanese, genuine way.
Okay, then we have a deal. Then when we meet next time in Sudan, we will eat that together, sir.
I take that as a promise from you and promise from me as well, Merwin.
Done. Have a nice day. Thank you very much for your presentation. And those attendees, if you have any more questions, please send it over. We will have Mr. Ahmed reply back to you. Thank you,
Thank you
Mr.
very
Ahmed.
much, Welwin, and thank you for your team. Thank you for the great event. Thank you.